Well, hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Luthier's Lair series, detailing the Falcon Series 2 Greta bass built for Franco Di Donato, the great Italian bass player. I sprained my knee, yes, my LCL, which is the lateral collateral ligament in the knee. It just went pop, so I have a brace on and everything, but luckily I did record some footage this week, so I'm going to put together the video for part 3 and we'll go from there. But I have a nice big brace on my knee. There's a tropical storm south of us right now, but it looks like it's going to miss, so we're cool. So let's get on with it. Let's see what we can do in part 3. Welcome back then, and as you saw the previous episode, we were able to attach the fretboard to the neck. Now it's kind of very near its final dimensions, where it counts. Down here 41mm wide to P-base specification. And down here I think it's 66, I can't remember, millimeters at the heel. Now we need to shape and carve the neck, and I use only to do the rough stuff, get the shape in there, I only use 2 tools. I use one, my rat tail rasp here, and of course 2, my trusty Shinto carving, carve knife. And yeah, so how do we go about it? Well, the neck will be rounded, of course, sort of. I do a compound curve in the necks for the Falcon Series 2, but it will go sort of narrower and narrower till it gets down to here. Okay, and the distance between the fretboard and this line here is 21mm. I'm just going to go slightly above that, and I'll show you how in a minute. And this distance here is 23mm, sorry, up here near the heel. So the neck gets a little stronger up here. Okay, now how do I gauge that? Well, I get my rat tail rasp, and I will rasp a hollow out in the wood down to that dimension, and I will do the same here. Now, if I were to join these 2 lines and get the midpoint, which I'm going to do, and I will rasp out there, that's going to give me 3 troughs as guidelines. Now once I've cut those troughs, I go in with the Shinto and just start shaping the neck. I can hit it right now if I like. It's not going to make much difference. You see the Shinto really goes through wood nicely, and I can't wait to see how this bird's eye maple is going to turn out. It's just magnifique. But I really don't even need to join up those 2 lines. I can judge this by eye, and I've done that before, but I might make a 3rd reference point in this neck, just to, I don't know, just like for fun and stuff. So I'm going to have a fun day today. It usually takes me about, I don't know, I have 3 sittings usually at carving a neck, and I spend maybe an hour at a time at each sitting, so it takes about 3 hours, I would think, to do this. But it's awesome. You just put on some music and just go to work. It's brilliant, and that's the only 2 tools I need until I get to what I think is going to be about the final shape. Then I'll take some 120 grit sandpaper and start smoothing this down, and then I'll up the grits even more and more and more until the final shape gets in play. But the first thing you need to do is to blend in the neck down to the fingerboard or the fretboard there. That's the first thing to do, and then once you've done that, then you start adjusting the angles on the Shinto to get the curve in. And I like a flatter part up here, and I like it flatter and then starting to get more rounded as it goes down to the bottom there. Of course, most guitar necks are like that. But anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, just quickly, I want to show you, there's the gouge there. Don't know if you can see that. And there's the gouge here. To the dimensions I want it. Actually, I'm going a little thinner. I want this to be a little thinner. Bird's eye maple's very hard wood. And as you can see, this is about 5 minutes into the carving now. And I'm starting to bevel the edge down towards the fingerboard. So it's just a case of, you know, getting the shinto and doing this. Keeping even pressure over the whole length there. And I'll have to get, no, I was going to get in your way actually to go like that, because that's the direction I work. It's just to show you what's going on there. And of course I do have my music turned off for copyright reasons. And you can see it's starting to feel like a neck. There's a good 2 or 3 hours left in this. But that's the start you want. Careful not to chisel off where you've marked off there. There's a little piece there I inadvertently slipped on, but that's actually going to get rounded anyway, so that doesn't matter. Okay, but just be careful as you're going along. Like I said before, the angle is going to change after I start making after I finish the transition to the fingerboard. The angle is going to start to change, and you just keep measuring, judging it, looking at it, feeling it. It's very nice. Careful not to get splinters though, and it will come to pass. Just takes time and patience. That's all it takes. See, a lot of material comes off of the shinto on its abrasive side, very abrasive side, and you can use the fine side just to start shaping, and then use the rough side again. So I'll alternate between the two, but it comes along nicely. Awesome. Okay. Okie dokie. Sorry for the jaunty angle, but you can see now, after about 15 minutes of carving, I'm already down to nearly blending in with the fingerboard. So now you got to be careful. There's the rough side of the shinto. Excuse me, just ate. And the smooth side. So what we do now is we just do this. Very steep angle, as you see, but what happens is you start to blend into the fretboard or fingerboard. Okay, and look at the amount of stuff. I mean, the shinto is, what a great tool. And of course I'll do that to the other side. Make sure everything's balanced. Make sure everything is symmetrical here for this first cut. So it needs to be good. Needs to be good. You blend that into the fingerboard, then all your work is ahead of you. You start shaping out what radiuses you like on the neck. And I have a very specific pattern that I have my drawings out here. I might show you them, I may not. Probably not, actually. Is it a trade secret? Who knows, eh? Who knows? As you can see, you can get a lot of work done in a relatively short period of time with the shinto. I'll just smooth off the top there a bit, so I can see other little bevels that I need to take out. And all the while I am totally concentrating on the shape. So as you can see, that's starting to blend in to this notch here and up here too. And that's what we want. And by the time we've got this all blended in, the neck will be carved, and I just need to sand it. Brilliant. Yeah, so nearly 3/4 of an hour in now. I'm going nice and slow with this, making sure everything's meticulous. It's all blended into the fretboard, sort of. And as you can see, this top section is getting narrower and narrower until it will be round. But what I'm actually doing is I'm putting facets into it. So I've got a plane here, and then another plane, and another plane, and then I round them off using the calculus of infinitesimals. Okay. Now, you don't need to know what that means, but I would recommend you read Principia Mathematica by Isaac Newton, circa 1667 I believe, or maybe 66, when he was at home during the bubonic plague. And yes, that's exactly what it is. This is calculus. We're talking about differential calculus actually, it's gradients we're talking about. And I need to round off these facets to certain hyperbolic curves. And it's good if you have a mathematical brain, it kind of helps you along. But if you don't and you just have eyes and you could see what's happening, then that's fine too. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. So, after a couple of hours work, carving is done of the neck. I'm getting to near specification now of the neck, so it's time to just start sanding, and we'll just finish sanding this down to like 220 probably. So I'm going to take 120 and 150 and then 220 I think I'll go. So I'll have that, and it's just, you know, just this sort of stuff going on. Get it smoothed out, get any bumps in there smoothed out, and of course this piece here will need to be smoothed, and here will need to be smoothed. And I use this handy dandy little thing. It's a piece of rubber that's rounded, and I just put the sandpaper on it like that, and just smooth out any of the Shinto's teeth marks in there and get that all shaped properly. So again, it's going to take a little while to get this shaped properly, and in there too. You don't want to do too much, of course, you take the neck out of shape in that way. But that's all it's going to take now. The neck will be done, and we'll be ready for our first mechanical fit of the base. Cool. Okay, the neck is now sanded to 400 grit for the most part. There's a couple of bits of tidying up needing to be done, and the way to see that better, actually, hold on, is to take a cloth, get some denatured alcohol on it, just a dab. This is also going to bring out the grain too, so watch this. Isn't that beautiful? Whoa! And you can see there's no imperfections there. So I'm pretty good there. I'll probably take this to, I'm thinking 600 grit before I put some sort of finish on it. I won't be finishing it yet though, but it's looking very nice. It's looking very good. Lovely. Everything looking hunky-dory now. Yes. Brilliant. Okay, sorry about the noise in the background there. Here's fun. Some fun starts anyway. I don't know if it's fun or not. I think it's fun. Anyway, I'm going to route the truss rod access cavity in the body. I don't know why I always do this after I sand seal. I think it's because I like a pure cavity and the access has got to be good. But let's adjust the depth of this. And let's make a pass, shall we? Yes. Let the games begin. Sorry, headphone users. Anyway, that's one pass, and it's looking good. We're going a bit deeper now, so I'm going to alter the depth of the router. Go to about there. It's good. And one more pass and we should be done, and then I'll explain the jig. Down a bit more. About to there, I think. That's it. Let it come to a complete stop, then lift. And you can see there, I don't know if you can see. Right, can you see now? If I go down here a bit, zoom in, you can see here, there it is, truss rod cavity. And the Allen key I supply with that is this one, and it just goes in there, and you've got further in to go. And it looks okay there. It looks okay. So what I did, this is all I did really, was put two pieces of wood there at the right diameter, which is 1/2 inch, right there, and we just route in till my router reached that line there, which is the half the base of the router. So I should zoom out a bit, right? So again, two parallel pieces of wood, 1/2 inch apart, bang on the centre line of the base, route out the channel to this line here, which is half the base of the router. And that gives me a nice 1 inch cavity there for the Allen key, the Allen wrench that I supply for truss rod adjustment. Voila! Awesome. Okay, I just finished doing the first proper mechanical test fit of the base, and like a dolt, I forgot to film it, but I did take some pictures and stuff for Facebook, etc, etc, and I will sort of show you these in insert here right now at this moment while I describe what I'm going to do next. I finished off sanding the neck completely. Now I'm going to stain the fretboard, and I'm going to do it a special walnut colour. Special walnut. Ooh, special. Special because I don't know why. I don't know. It's lighter than the dark walnut I use, but that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll go do that. As you can see, I've masked off where I want things to delineate, and for reasons for protection, I'm protecting the bend well there, protecting that, because, and if you notice there, I've got a nice oval nut slot there. That sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? And because I want to bronze, make the bend wheel bronze, and then we'll leave the rest. Might actually bronze the back of the headpiece there. We'll see. Might leave it natural. Okay, so I'm going to go do that. yes, so in the spirit of experimentation, what I did was I put 2 coats of this special walnut on, and it's not giving the contrast I want with the body here. So I've got the body right here. Careful not to spill any dye on it, which probably will end up doing. And I thought, well, it's not dark enough. So what I went ahead and did was these scissors are crap, right? I went ahead and I mixed some of the special walnut with ebony dye, and then I put some mineral spirits in there just to thin down the mixture a little bit, help it absorb into the wood. And I've got a little test piece of oak here that I'm going to use to see how that turns out. It's my mixture there. Oh, I like that much better. Oh yeah. Yes. That's, I think, a better contrast than that. It's a little darker. It's a bit more of a finesse about it, I think. Bit more of a finesse. Yeah, definitely going to put that on there now, which is okay because we can always sort of undo it at this stage. So let's see what we get. Bloody mess probably, but never mind. Oh yeah, yes. I knew it. I bloody knew it. Oh no, that is nice. Yes indeed. Yes, I'm happy with that. So, just kind of smooth that out a little bit. As you notice, I'm going over the epoxy and the LEDs and stuff. Don't worry, stain will not dry into the epoxy or LEDs. And we just use a little bit of cotton to soak that out. Don't worry about it. You no need to worry. Everything is beautiful. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. As you can see, it contrasts beautifully with the colonial oak colour of the body. Wait a minute. Let's see a little bit there. That's kind of uneven. There we go. Just wash that in. Of course, you know, this will dry pretty quickly now because I added mineral spirits to the mix. That'll help it absorb in pretty quick. Now I just go along the edges now, and then after I do this, I will take a clean cotton rag and wipe it down pretty soon, about 2 minutes after applying it. There's still enough on this piece here that I can do the edges very easily. And the edges, because of the cut of the way it's cut, absorbs much quicker. Just at the end there. Lovely. Of course, I've got this bit masked off because I want this to be bronze. It's going to be bronze right at the end there. So there you go. Done. Cool. Yeah, that's going to turn out good. Another coat of that and I think I'm not golden. I'm kind of ebony special walnutty. You know. Cool. Okay, folklores. Just in case you don't believe me that the stain won't come out the LEDs, this is 2 coats of my special stain mix on it. As you can see, the contrast is beautiful now, and I'll put on the LEDs. Look at that, still working fantastically, and then if anything, looks much more spectacular because the wood is darker and the light contrasts better. So, yes indeed. Getting there slowly but surely. So, here we are. Now the stain is dry. Nice and dry. Okay, it's in the wood. That's 3 coats of the special stain mix I made up. and the oak neck is looking grainy and mottled and stuff, and it looks really good. To finish it, I'm going to use 50% tung oil, 50% mineral spirit mix. Now what this will serve to do is it will penetrate just below the level of the grain, keeping out moisture, and it will put a nice protective film on the fingerboard. And then after that you just oil the fingerboard like once every year or so. If you really play a lot, then once every just 6 months or so. I don't know, it depends how much you play, you know. You start to see a little wear and tear, you just re-oil it, it's no problem. It dries in 24 hours. Okay, so let's apply some of this. Just a nice lint-free rag here. Tiny dip into the oil, not too much, and just go over the fretboard with it. Again, don't worry about the LEDs and stuff being covered in oil, we just dab those out. We dab those out with a piece of cotton at the end. And this stuff dries pretty quickly, so you're just going to get a nice first even cover. You're going to put 3 coats on. I'm going to wait for the first coat to dry for about half an hour or so for applying the second. Now long strokes, there we go, and the same on the sides, there we go. Side here, the ends I should say, right? The ends. Just make sure this is even by very lightly going over it, and that's the first coat done. As you see, it's starting to get a sort of satin sheen to it. And after like letting this dry for 5 minutes, we're going to go in with a piece of cotton there and just dab on the LEDs, but I'll let that dry a little bit. Okay, brilliant. Okay, since I've got the neck set aside now and letting the fretboard dry after having been coated in tung oil 3 times, it is now time to mask off the body in preparation for clear coat. Of course, it's all been sand and sealed. I've left the sand and sealer a little thicker on the sides, as you can see there. That will all blend in once I put the clear coat on. First, before I masked, I degreased the surface and all the pockets so that the tape would actually stick there. Get rid of all the particulate matter. You don't want the masking coming off as you're clear coating. You don't want to add any height to any of the pockets or cavities that you took so much time to get to the right dimensions. So you mask it off, and the way you degrease it, you can use Simple Green, which is an awesome product. I don't know if you get it in Europe or anywhere else, but in the US and Canada you get this good product for degreasing, Simple Green. It's non-toxic, biodegradable, good stuff. Or you can use the harsher stuff, which is Windex or Windoline as it's called in the UK, to get all the grease and stuff off the surface. Now I just give that a cursory wipe and the cavities, and then I go ahead and mask. Then I'll just go over it again, and I'll just hang it up ready for clear coating, which I planned to do this weekend, but unfortunately at the time of filming we have a tropical storm coming in, which means lots of rain, high humidity. The temperature, even when the storm comes over us, will still be about 90 Fahrenheit, which is what, 31 C, 31 centigrade, something Celsius, something like that, 30 Celsius. So, you know, you can't do a clear coat. Even after that clears through, it's going to be humid as hell. You can't do a clear coat in those conditions. You just can't. You're going to get water trapped in the wood that will blister, It will lift the clear coat, so it's not going to be possible. Now, why do I say that? Well, I don't have a spray booth available to me because of COVID. I used to go somewhere, now I can't. So I do all my spraying outside on a bench outside when the weather's correct. So it really hampers me. But you know, I'm looking for alternatives. I might even have to build one myself, a portable one that I can just quickly set up outside. We'll see. But that's the prep. All ready for clear coat. Awesome. Well, that's it for part 3. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully in the next part 4, we'll get ever closer to actually completing this base. Wonderful time making it, really a wonderful time. I just hope my knee heals up so that I can get mobile again and get on with this base. I mean, it's been just fantastic to work on, and my great thanks to Franco for his continued support of the Gazzbass brand, and thank you very much, sir. And that's it. Hey, I'll see you in part 4, okay? So, in the meantime, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you later, folks. Cheers. Bye-bye.